I need to show you something that really blew my mind, and it's something that I found while I was digging around in my family's attic. This object right here, this has been in my family for generations, and it's been passed down for over a century, possibly even many centuries. And the strangest part about this thing, that dog. Doesn't it remind you of something? It looks exactly like a Doberman Pinscher. But here's the thing, this artifact and the story that goes along with it, it comes from a time before the Doberman breed officially existed. So how is that even possible? Now, the Doberman breed officially anyway, it was created by Karl Friedrich Louis Dobermann between about 1880 and 1890. Now, Mr. Doberman, he was a tax collector who needed the ideal guard dog to accompany him on his rounds, collecting taxes for protection. That's the official story anyway of how the Doberman breed started. Now just keep that official story of the Doberman breed's creation in mind here. Now to understand this mystery, let me tell you a little bit about my family's history, at least as it was told to me when I was a kid. Now this part does get a little weird. Way back in 1884, around the time the Doberman breed officially was created, my great-great-grandfather Christian, he packed up his entire life and left Alkmaar, Holland with his family, his 9 children in total. They sold their home, they boarded a ship in Rotterdam, and they set sail for America. Now, Christian wasn't just any man back in Holland. He actually was a tax collector, and that becomes very important to the story a little later on. And it turns out that Christian also had a guard dog, a dog that played a role so incredible, it became my family's legend. But it wasn't until this Crest surfaced up that the story became a whole lot stranger. Now, the story that I always heard about this dog sitting on this key, it goes like this. My great-great-grandfather Christian, he was accused of losing the town's tax money that he had collected. Burglars had broken into his home, and there was a big, large steel lockbox there where the money was kept, and it was assumed it was lost during this break-in. But in reality, the money was untouched. Why? Because the key to this lockbox was missing. The burglars never were able to get in and get the town's money. Okay, but here's where it gets a little crazy, guys. When my great-great-grandfather returned home and he found that the house had been burglarized, he went on a search for the key for the box to make sure that all the money was still there and untouched. He finally found the key, and where did he find the key? He found the key in the back field underneath his loyal guard dog who was standing on it and guarding it, keeping it safe, refusing to leave the key. Now that dog saved the town's money and it cleared my ancestor's name. And this crest was created to commemorate that moment, a tribute to the loyalty, to the protection, and really just to the dog who stood guard over what mattered most to the entire town. Now, as a result of saving the town's money, the Dutch king actually recognized my ancestor for services rendered to the Dutch government and allowed my family to use that symbol of the dog on the key as part of our family crest. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, guys. The Doberman Pinscher breed was created in Germany in the 1880s, around the same time as this story. Apolda, Germany, where Karl Friedrich Louis Dobermann was developing this Doberman breed, is only about 350 miles from Alkmaar, Holland. That's really not far at all. And here's the kicker. Karl Dobermann was also a tax collector, just like what I heard about my great-great-grandfather. And this took place in the 1880s as well. Hey. So it was 2 tax collectors, 2 stories of protection, and this dog right here with a posture that just screams loyalty and the Doberman breed. Could this be a coincidence, or is there something more here going on? Now, there's even more to this story. This crest was actually passed down for generations through my family, but much of the history was lost. I was told during my digging that records of this were lost when a church in Boskoop, Holland, where my family originated, burned down in 1895. So I did a lot of my own digging even further, guys, and I actually spoke to a 95-year-old family member of mine who I'd never spoken to before. And when I got him on the phone and mentioned the story, he knew right away what I was referring to. Now, eventually, in all my digging, I actually uncovered an alternative story regarding this plaque. Well, I mean, the story itself about the dog and sitting on the key and protecting the town's money, that was all very similar in this version. But in this story, the event took place actually in the 1650s in the same town in Boskoop, Holland, over 200 years before the creation of the Doberman breed. And this story described this dog as possibly being a greyhound. And I also found a document stating that this shield was always on display in the old church in that town until it burned down in 1895. And I'm assuming, of course, that it was a replica of this. But why this plaque with this dog standing on a key, apparently up on display in this prominent church there? Why was that? And this Latin phrase, which I'm not going to try and pronounce for you, but apparently it means something along the lines of do what you're doing, or be excellent at what you do, or essentially be in the moment and do what you're doing currently as good as you can do it. Something along those lines. Maybe you know better Latin than I do. But truly, when you compare this dog to a Doberman, I mean, it's almost an exact match. You have the cropped ears, which is traditional for the Doberman, the long blocky snout, which is not a greyhound trait at all. Greyhounds have much more pointed snouts. You have that proud stature, the big deep chest. You have the tail, which is not docked like a lot of Dobermans are, but it doesn't have any fur. So clearly this is a dog with not much of a coat. And just the proud stoic look of it, it's hard for me to believe that this is not a Doberman. Real quick, guys, before we uncover some more just really weird parallels in this story and the story of the Doberman breed's creation, it's really just worth mentioning that stories like this really make you realize just how incredible our dogs are to us. Even if they aren't on your family crest, like in this story, they still do create just a really huge, really rich history in all of our families. The loyalty, the intelligence, the bond, we tell stories about our dogs for generations. But here's the thing about Dobermans. They're not just family, they're also high performance athletes. They're protectors and companions all in one. And like any high performance athlete, what you fuel them matters. That's why more and more Doberman owners are feeding all these fresh human grade meals to their dogs, formulated with veterinary nutritionists. All these meals are designed to support your Doberman's energy, their focus, and longevity. Real ingredients and balanced nutrition is really everything your Doberman needs to thrive. Really think about it. You're fueling a dog with a long legacy of intelligence and protection, a dog whose instincts and loyalties are truly unmatched. Shouldn't their food have that same level of excellence? With Ollie, it's not just about feeding your dog. It's about unlocking their full potential. If you're finally ready to see what a really fresh, nutrient-packed diet can do for your dog, click the link in the description down below to try Ollie out for yourself. There's a coupon code down there too, and it'll get you 60% off your first box. This is an awesome deal, so jump on it now. The link is down below. I don't know how you guys feel about coincidences, but here's the thing. I've always felt an unusually strong connection to the Dobermans. It's why I created Doberman Planet in the first place, and why I share this incredible breed with over 500,000 people worldwide on all our social media pages. It's why I train Dobermans exclusively, and really just why I do this full time and why I love it so much. There's always been this just really indescribable, strong pull for me to the Doberman breed from the get-go, and I never understood why. So really through all my investigative work looking into this story, I just kept asking myself, was this just a coincidence that I was pulled toward the Doberman breed so hard, or was there something deeper that kind of led me to this breed? Something passed through my family, through this crest, and through the story that goes along with it. Is this related at all to the Doberman story and their creation, or is this just a different dog entirely? What do you think? Do you believe in coincidences like this? Let me know in the comments down below, especially if you happen to be from Alkmaar or Boskoop, Holland, or know anything about this history from that area of the world. Of course, really, I would love to hear from you people who live there in that area. I kind of need your help solving this mystery. And look, if you're really intrigued by this story or just a Doberman's history in general, hit that like button down below to make sure you tell YouTube that you are. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button also to Doberman Planet while you're down there. And we'll keep giving you more stories about this incredible breed and what it's like owning them. And who knows, we might uncover some other really interesting stuff together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.